In the vast, turquoise expanse of the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, there once lay a tiny, rugged speck of land known as Bermeja. For over 400 years, it was a fixed point on the world's maps, described as a reddish island of salt and scrub. But in 1997, when a modern research vessel went to find it, they discovered only a terrifying, empty horizon. The first record of Bermeja dates back to 1539, appearing in the El Hilario by Alonso de Santa Cruz. Spanish explorers described it as a small, rocky island roughly 80 square miles in size. It was a vital landmark for galleons navigating the treacherous currents of the Gulf. For centuries, cartographers from Britain, France, and Portugal meticulously copied it onto their official charts. Bermeja wasn't just a ghostly rumor, it was a matter of international law. In 1846, British naval charts confirmed its coordinates at 20 to 33 and 9122 feet W. Even the United States government included it in its Islands of the World publications, well into the 20th century. It was a solid, physical reality that had been seen and charted by the greatest seafaring nations on Earth. The mystery turned spooky in the late 1990s during a high-stakes diplomatic battle between Mexico and the US over oil rights. The two nations were negotiating the donut hole, a massive underwater oil reserve in the deep Gulf. According to international law, the presence of Bermeja would extend Mexico's maritime borders, giving them control over billions of barrels of black gold. In 1997, the Mexican government sent the research ship Justo Sierra to the exact coordinates to officially claim the land. Using satellite GPS and deep-sea sonar, the crew spent days crisscrossing the area. To their growing horror, they found nothing. There was no island, no reef, and no shallow water. Where a 100-foot-high rock should have been, the ocean floor was 1,500 feet deep. The heavy silence that followed the mission was deafening. How could an island that had been on maps for 4 centuries simply vanish? The Mexican media exploded with conspiracy theories. Some suggested that Bermeja had been destroyed by the CIA using secret tectonic weapons or underwater explosives to ensure the US kept control of the oil reserves in the region. Others proposed a more natural, but equally eerie explanation: the sinking. They suggested that rising sea levels or a massive underwater landslide had caused the island to slip into the abyss. But geologists pointed out that a volcanic or tectonic event large enough to swallow an island would have caused a massive tsunami and been recorded by every seismograph in the world. The ghost island began to haunt the Mexican Senate. In 2009, a formal investigation was launched. 3 separate expeditions were sent to the site, equipped with the most advanced technology humanity possessed. They searched over 10,000 square kilometers of the Gulf. They found shipwrecks and ancient coral, but of Bermeja, there was not a single trace, no reddish rock, no salt. The mystery took a spooky turn when researchers checked the old archives. They found that in the 1970s, Mexican officials had flown over the area and reported seeing the island. One pilot even claimed to have used it as a visual waypoint. If the island was there in 1970, but gone by 1997, it meant Bermeja didn't never exist. It had been deleted from the physical world. Skeptics argue it was a cartographic error, a mistake made once in 1539 and blindly copied for centuries. This happens often with phantom islands, but Bermeja was described in detail, not just as a dot. Sailors described its reddish hue and the way the waves broke against its cliffs. It is rare for a mistake to be given such vivid, physical characteristics by multiple witnesses. Conspiracy theorists point to the Hoyos de Dorna, the oil holes. If Bermeja existed, Mexico's exclusive economic zone would have covered the entire oil field. Without it, the US gained a massive advantage. Some believed the island was dredged out of existence, literally scraped off the seafloor, by secret machinery to rewrite the borders of the world for corporate profit. The Bermeja Gap remains a sensitive political wound. In 2000, the US and Mexico signed a treaty to split the Ural, but they included a moratorium on the area where Bermeja should have been. It was as if both governments were waiting for the ghost island to reappear. The air in the negotiations was reportedly heavy with the suspicion that something had been stolen. Could it be a mirage island? In the heat of the Gulf, Fata Morgana can create incredibly realistic images of land where none exists. This might explain why early explorers saw it. But a mirage doesn't last for 400 years in the exact same spot, nor does it get measured and charted by professional surveyors using sextants and stars. A mirage is a flicker. Bermeja was a landmark. Some believe Bermeja was a floating island, a massive, stable mat of pumice or debris that was colonized by plants and birds. Over centuries, it could have drifted or eventually broken apart and sunk. This would explain why it was seen in different decades but wasn't tethered to the seafloor. But a floating island 80 miles wide is a biological and physical impossibility. The most spooky theory involves temporal shifts. Some paranormal researchers suggest that Bermeja is a thin place, a location where an island from a parallel reality occasionally bleeds into ours. This would explain why it appears on maps during some eras and vanishes in others. It is an island that belongs to the other side, appearing only when the fog of time is right. In 2010, the Mexican government officially declared Bermeja non-existent. They removed it from their national maps and charts. It was a bureaucratic execution. One day, it was a piece of the nation. The next, it was a clerical error. But for the families of the old sailors who used it to find their way home, Bermeja was as real as the Yucatan coast itself. The mystery of Bermeja is a story of the erased land. It is the terrifying reality that we don't know our own planet as well as we think. It is a puzzle of Ural and orbs, a reminder that a few lines on a map can be worth billions of dollars and 1,000 secrets. Bermeja is the Atlantis of the Gulf, a mystery that was swallowed by the sea or by a shredder. Today, the coordinates of Bermeja are a sight of empty water. Ships pass over the spot without a bump. But some local fishermen avoid the area, claiming their compasses spin and their sonar shows shadows of a mountain that isn't there. They call it the Isla Fantasma, the ghost island that refuses to be forgotten even if the scientists say it never was. Bermeja represents the fragility of truth. If an entire island can be lost or deleted, what else in our history is a lie? The mystery is a testament to the hidden power of the ocean. The Gulf of Mexico is a place of heavy currents and deep secrets, a graveyard for ships and, apparently, for entire islands. Bermeja is the map's missing tooth. The conspiracy doesn't end with Ural. Some suggest Bermeja was a secret U-boat base during World War II or a Cold War listening post that was sanitized after it was no longer needed. The idea of geospatial gaslighting, where a government tells you a place doesn't exist to hide what happened there, is a spooky modern reality that Bermeja might be the first example of. As the sun sets over the Gulf, the horizon where Bermeja should be looks heavy and gold. The mystery is a masterpiece of cartographic horror. It is a story of red rocks and blue water, a puzzle that proves that even in the age of Google Earth, the world still has blank spaces. Bermeja is the island that died without leaving a body, leaving only a ghost on a map. The final mystery lies in the coordinates, 20 to 33 and 9120 to feet W. If you go there today, you are in the middle of nowhere. But if you look at a map from 1950, you are standing on solid ground. The Bermeja disconnect is a reminder that our reality is only as stable as the ink we use to record it. The island is gone, but the why continues to ripple across the surface of the Gulf. The story of Bermeja is a reminder that the ocean is the great devourer. It takes what it wants: ships, sailors, and islands. But Bermeja is unique because it didn't just sink. It vanished from the memory of man. It is a mystery that is heavy with the salt of the sea and the greed of the land. It is the island of no return, a ghost that still haunts the charts of the world. As you look at a globe tonight, remember Bermeja. Look at the blue spaces and wonder what else has been deleted. The mystery of the vanishing island is a testament to the unknown earth. It is a story of a reddish rock that became a blue void, a puzzle that will remain unsolved as long as the deep currents of the Gulf keep their secrets beneath the waves. The final chapter of Bermeja is written in the silence of the sea. There is no monument, no marker, and no grave. There is only the wind and the water. The island that was there for 400 years is now just a spooky legend, a reminder that sometimes the world doesn't just change, it disappears. Bermeja is the lost piece of the puzzle, forever out of reach.